Kindergartners, today we are making a clay dish. So to begin, your clay needs to get flattened. Right now it's really thick. So I'm going to use two hands and I'm going to push this clay onto the fabric. Mrs. Cleary will be around to help you if you cannot get your clay smushed. Your hands are smaller than mine, but it should be smushed about as big as your hand. When I pick this up, I kind of have to peel that fabric off, and you can see that it got much skinnier. So now I get to make some designs on this clay. So there are some tools on the trays at your table. They're stampers. So these, I put the textured side down and I push that stamp onto the clay. I got a little bit of that other part of the stamper, so I'm just going to kind of rub it off and it erases right out of my clay. You can use the tools and scratch pictures in them, so I'm just kind of outlining this shape. When I'm doing that, some of the clay is coming off. I'm going to try to pick off those little pieces and make that a little bit smoother. I'm going to go over it one more time, kind of picking off all those clay crumbs that come. There are some marker caps you can use gently to push circle shapes. Some of the marker caps will give more of like a star shape. You can use the sides and rub and roll it to get a pretty cool looking texture. There are even some cutters, like cookie cutters, you can use gently. You don't want to poke a hole in your clay, but here's a little kitty. I could put that on my clay and just gently push in. I don't want to push it so far I get a hole, and pick it up. If you're creating textures and you accidentally cut or push a hole, just raise your hand. Mrs. Cleary will help you fix it. If you do something you don't like, you can also erase it. So take your time and make some really nice textures. I'm kind of making mine look the same on the sides and same on the top and the bottom, so my picture is symmetrical. Yours does not have to be. In order to get this to pop up and become 3D, we have to curve the edges up. So I'm going to peel this off the fabric, and then I am going to take my fingers and kind of bend the sides up. So my thumbs stay in the inside and my fingers kind of curve it up. I'm going to turn it, I'm going to do the same thing on all four sides so that my clay isn't flat anymore. It's starting to kind of pop up and become a dish. So now that I've done that, I'm actually picking it up and I'm using my pincher fingers right here, and I am just turning and pinching those sides up so that I could put something in here like money, paper clips, jewelry, M&Ms. When your project has a nice texture or design on the inside and you have those edges curved up, raise your hand so that Mrs. Cleary can write your name on the back. Now your clay is going to dry and it's going to get hard. Miss Cleary is going to bake it just like we did with our other clay projects, and it's going to turn almost white and breakable. So it's going to go from soft and squishy to breakable, and once it looks like this and Mrs. Cleary has baked it, we get to add color onto it.